what did I have to let go of in order to be where I am today? I made an entire list that I'm going to be sharing with you about all the different lessons that I had to actually overcome before getting here, before being in Thailand. The first one I'm going to start with is control over money. I spent the last year, the past 2 years, the past I don't know how many years, trying to just control my outcomes with money. Always trying to force it to stay, always trying to save it, just save it, save it for whenever you need it. Whenever there's going to be an emergency, you're going to have to use it. And it was this very big scarcity mindset that I held with money. But being here, I literally had to let go of that idea. Like the universe and God forced me to have to let go of that and just step into sometimes maybe I'm not going to know exactly how it works out. And it's funny because I think this is maybe the least amount that I've seen in my bank account in a long time. But at the same time, I think this is the most abundant that I've felt. Even when I had way more money than this, I used to have a lack mindset around it, which probably led to the outcome that I have now. But now that I see that my mindset is becoming clear in what it desires with money and how it's not about control, it's actually about releasing it and trusting that it's going to come to you and trusting that God is always providing for you. That's what it comes down to. And I feel like now that I have that mindset, I'm going to start slowly seeing that action and seeing the actual result come into my life. Because as we know, everything starts from a single thought. The next one is I had to let go of external labels. The idea that women like me don't get these opportunities. People that are of my race don't get these opportunities. People that grew up the way that I did don't get these opportunities. I truly had to let go of that, and I feel like this happened many years ago because I've been traveling for a while now. But I had to let go of the idea that I did not deserve to do things like this, that I did not deserve to leave my home country, that I didn't deserve to gain opportunities that I saw other people have, things that I dreamt about when I was little. All of those things, I had to just come to the realization that none of those external factors were going to stand in my way of actually what I was meant to have, what was put in my heart for a reason, why I'm here, the bigger purpose, the bigger reason as to what everyone is gaining from me being in their presence and what I'm gaining from being with everyone inside of their presence. So that's definitely what I had to let go of. And the stronger that you cling on to those identities of external labels, I know that it can feel comforting, but it stops you from doing so many things. Not because you are innately incapable of doing those things, simply because you've labeled yourself to be incapable of doing them. So that's a big one I had to let go of for sure. Next one I wrote was I had to let go of being in my comfort zone. This might come obvious, but I had to make the choice of intentionally, and I still do, every single day I have to intentionally make the choice to make myself uncomfortable, to be in a place where I don't know the language, to be in a place where I do things differently, to be in a place where people might laugh at me, or people might try to help me, or, any situation that's outside of me. It might happen, and getting yourself out of that comfort zone consistently. I always forget, like, people always say, like, get out of your comfort zone. It's all something that we know we need to do. But when it comes to it, it can feel so challenging. It can feel so challenging. Like, why am I purposefully doing this to myself? I think it was 2 weeks ago that I was crying and I was sad about something that had happened that day. And I was thinking, like, why am I choosing to put myself in this situation? Like, I decided to come here. I'm deciding to teach. Like, I decided to take all of these steps. Why is it that I'm choosing something that feels so difficult? But the more that you place yourself in those situations, really big things happen because you're telling the world that there's nothing that it can do to stop you. You are strong enough in the face of adversity that you keep going always. And that's a beautiful thing. The next one I said that I had to let go of is ego and the need to always be right. That's something I really struggled with, and maybe it has to do a little bit with my stubbornness too. But that's something I really had to let go of while being here. Letting go of my ego, of the fact that I think that I always have to be right, that it's my way or the highway. And I just realized, like, being right all the time, like, first of all, the person that feels like they need to be right all the time is someone that holds a lot of insecurity in the beliefs that they do have. And because someone that's able to let multiple realities and truths be true at once for different people are what is actually an open-minded person. Someone that's willing to look at the world and be like, hey, even though you don't think the way that I do, maybe you don't have the same beliefs, maybe you do things really differently. Even though that's the case, it doesn't make me value you less. It doesn't make me think less of you because of it. That was a huge one, like the need to just always be right, always be upfront, like say whatever is on my mind. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. And that honestly creates more chaos, I would say. If you really want to create more peace, it's not about being passive and just letting people walk over you. It's about genuinely like being a peaceful person, you know? You can have your thoughts, you can have your beliefs, you can see what's right and what's wrong, but you're not doing it from a judgmental point of view. You're not doing it because you genuinely believe that you're the only one that can be right, because you're never going to be. And it's kind of like the people that think I have nothing left to learn. It's like you're going to miss out on so many learning opportunities because you just have it in your head that you can't learn anything else, that people can't teach you. You can always learn, you just have to be willing to learn. The next one that I wrote down is certainty. The need to be certain has gone out the drain in many, many ways. The need to be certain about a time you're getting together with friends, about what you're going to be doing in school, what I'm going to be teaching. In an instant, and this is like a very cultural thing too, but in an instant, the plan changes, someone cancels, you have to do a lesson you didn't know you had to do. Like, it's not a culture where you just plan everything and then expect it to always go that way. It's very flow, give and take. Like not whatever happens happens, but it's you have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to change plans and move and be flexible. Like flexibility is one of the biggest things. As a teacher, as an educator, as like most human beings need to have that behind their belt. But I feel like culturally here, I've learned very much of the need of letting things flow more and just not having to be certain all the time, not having to know exactly what's next. And I've found that I'm becoming more and more like that, and I like that. That was one of my goals with coming here. Is I didn't want to live a life that was so like this. Like again, that shows me a lot of like need to control. When everything has to be planned and everything has to go your way, and again, there's not a lot of vulnerability or humanness in that. I feel like it's just all rigid. It's all like go, 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 do the same thing. I don't know, maybe like machine like also. So that's another one that I definitely had to let go of. Another one is I had to let go of a strong support system in order to be here. I had to obviously say goodbye to my family. I had to say goodbye to my boyfriend. I had to say goodbye to best friends, and I had to find a new support system here, you know? I've already like for sure my friends here can already say like they've seen me cry. I've been vulnerable, they've been vulnerable. Like it's an experience where you need to have people around you for sure. And it is also a beautiful thing when the people that are around you aren't always like the system that you've always relied on. Because again, like amazing to have your family, to have like the ride or die people, like the people that are really gonna have your back, but at the same time, like adding to that group of the people that you can really go to in those situations is wonderful. It's a really, really powerful thing. Next one I would say is guardedness, for sure. I had to let go of the concept of being guarded. So here I wrote to vulnerability is everything. I had to let go of my guardedness definitely in terms of friendships and allowing people in. And it's kind of funny that while being here, I feel like I've been the most vulnerable with friends back home, even just sending audios, letting them know how I'm doing. And one of my friends was so vulnerable on her end. She was telling me, sometimes I forget, like I look at your life or someone else and I can get kind of jealous because I'm like, why, like, oh my goodness, like you're just living this life and you're in Thailand and it's like everything is amazing and you're traveling. It's like, oh my goodness, would I love to be doing that. But that's when I reminded her, I was like, I have good days, I have bad days. That's something that I realized when I was living in Spain. And I realized, like, just because you live somewhere else doesn't mean that you don't have challenges. Like, you still have to go through things. Everyone has to still go through things, even if you think that everything is sorted out in your life, even if you have the partner and the career and the money and the ambitions and the spiritualness in every little category. It's still like everyone still has challenges every day. Next one I wrote is victimhood. This is a big one. I've been thinking a lot about this. I had to let go of being a victim while being here. First of all, just travel in general widens your perspective so much as to when you're sometimes being a victim and you see other people that aren't even victims and they have a harder time than you, that they're like struggling more than you, it just humbles you so much. You know, it humbles you because you realize it's not all about you. It just makes you more humble, and it makes you more understanding of other people and the situations that they go through. And that's a really, really big quality to have, letting go of the victimhood of you always being the one that is like in trouble and needing something. It's like, again, anyone can be a victim. Anyone can find a reason to be a victim. That's why I think it's so much more incredible and amazing to see people that have so much gratitude with whatever they have. Gratitude is the antidote to pretty much any negative thing that you come across in your life. Just in everything, there is something to be grateful for. And yeah, I think just stepping into that has also just been a big game changer for me, for sure. Next one I wrote was self-concepts. So self-concepts I used to have around friends, health, and finances. Again, friends, this one has been a big, big one, and I actually had it in my vision board this year. Just reconnecting with friends, building these stronger relationships. I'm kind of over the phase of my life that I just want to have friends because I want to like catch up and have someone to hang out with. Like, I don't really care about that anymore. I more so care about the quality of my friendships, and I care about becoming better because I'm with them, and them becoming better because they're with me, and sharing the really hard things, and kind of like widening the circle of the people that I can, like, of a real community that I can genuinely like be myself with. And I'm not saying that that's going to be everyone, and it's, you know, different friends, coworkers, acquaintances, so many different kinds of people that you can have in your life. But that was a really big one for me. So the self concept I had before was friends always do this, like friendships always end, I'm always like left by friends, like all these concepts I had because of past experiences. Same thing with finances and with health. It's like, how do I view myself as a healthy person? If I haven't seen that here, how can it change that? And then with finances, same thing as what I was saying in the beginning, like, what are the finances, like what are the concepts around finances that my mindset needs to clear up? So not just like the actual numbers, but like what's going on in the beliefs of why I've built what I've built, you know? Why is my situation the one that it is? And how am I taking accountability as to why it got like that? And if I want to change it, I can change it. If I want it to stay, I can grow it, like whatever it might be that I want to do. So those are big ones. The next one is taking things personally. This is a big one that I've learned, again, like culturally, I guess. But so I have some different foreign teachers at my school. And of course, any different culture, any different nationality is going to bring its own flavor, its own kind of people. And that's something that I've had to get used to, some of their humor being very sarcastic or kind of like making fun of each other, but like in like a friendship sense, where like you, like, it's not like a personal attack. Like it's just been a funny thing to see. But I've definitely had to learn how to not take things personally, because I would be someone that I mean, I still am someone that's very sensitive, and I can, you know, think about things a lot. And I think that being here has been a great antidote to that, like not having to take things personally and learning that skill. That's a huge skill to have, to not take things personally, because when you don't take things personally, it's honestly, I believe, because you have such radiant confidence in yourself that, like, even if someone says something about you, whether it's true or not, like, if it's true, you're gonna be like, all right, how can I actually change this? How is this something, like, someone is showing me a mirror and I'm seeing it too, and it's something that I want to change? Or if it's something that you don't like, that doesn't even phase you, it's like, oh, I actually really like the way that I do this, or I actually really like this about myself. Even if you don't, that's fine. But finding that inner confidence, like, again, the confidence that comes from within, not the confidence that someone says that you're acceptable and therefore you believe that you're acceptable. And then the last one is embarrassment. Embarrassment for sure, and something that I think everyone deals with to a certain degree. And embarrassment is definitely one of those things. A lot of people say embarrassment is a choice, which is true. You know, it's some, like, again, it's you being so focused on just yourself. You don't realize, like, the rest of the world isn't just focused on you. Like, everyone's kind of focused on themselves. Like, someone sees you do something funny, someone sees you fall over, someone sees you filming a video, like, you think, like, you are the one that in your mind thinks that's so embarrassing. What are they going to think of me? No one else cares. Like, no one else cares. And if they do, that's weird. Definitely weird. If, like, no, but I really almost guarantee you that people don't. Like, people see that, maybe they'll chuckle that you fell over or whatever, maybe they'll help you. They're forgetting in the next 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. So embarrassment is another thing that you definitely have to, that I had to let go of in order to be here. So yes, those are a little list of all the things I've had to learn, that I had to learn in order to be where I am today. Some of them I definitely learned before getting here, just things I've learned throughout my life already. And some of them I've learned while being here, and those have honestly been my favorite, because things like this remind me and show me that I'm growing every day, and I'm growing into more and more of the kind of person that I want to be, you know, just this, like, calm energy, connected, grounded, sure of herself, confident, like, putting yourself in not in tough positions, but, like, willing to take on challenges, willing to get through it. And every day I'm just reminded of how lucky I am, obviously, to be here and be doing this. And it reminds me, it, like, gives me hope to also tell other people, like, if you want to do this, you can do this. If you want to do something else, you can do that. If I want to do something else, I can do that. You're kind of the only person that ever limits yourself. Maybe the people around you do, but again, same thing. If people around you are limiting your dreams, why are you letting them? Why are you letting them? You know? I can tell you a billion people that have probably thought, I don't know how you're going to make it. I wouldn't do that if I were you. If I would have listened to any one of those people, I wouldn't be here right now. You know? It's, you would just have to be so sure of yourself. You have to radiate that confident energy, not just radiate it. You just have to be it. You just have to be willing to be wrong. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to be, you know, to look silly, to be embarrassed, whatever it is. Because these situations and these circumstances are truly what makes us grow the most. Anytime I've done an experience like this, it's always where I learn the most. It's always where I grow the most. So with that being said, thank you for watching today's video. I loved doing this. It was such a cute style. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.